Good evening to you, Mark Sept, HurricaneTrack.com here with a special update real quick. Wanted to see what was going on with Joaquin and the 18Z model runs. Some very interesting developments. First of all, satellite picture showing that the outflow and the organizational structure of the tropical storm is improving substantially. Look at all of this very favorable outflow going along on the southern periphery of the storm. Still has some northerly shear impacting it. That's why it has this sort of rounded appearance on the northern side of the central dense overcast, or a fancy way of saying deep thunderstorms around the center. Once that lets up, it'll probably start to really intensify. In fact, look at that one feeder band trying to develop right there, wrapping into that circulation center. This is well on its way to becoming a hurricane. Now, this is the 12Z run of the GFS, and there was a lot of talk about how it developed this storm into a hurricane, and then energy kind of fed off of it or whatever, and it escapes on out to sea rather harmlessly, maybe brushing by Bermuda there, and that was it. No big deal, right? Well, let me show you what the 18Z looks like, and it's roughly the same time frame. This is 4 days out on the 12Z run, and this is 4 days out on the 18Z run. A much well-developed, better developed storm, or hurricane in this case, almost certainly, in the model field. And look at the difference between the two. Here, you have sort of this weird amorphic look to the what we call the vorticity, and I don't even know what this is, maybe the remnants of Ida, and what is that? And so you just have all of this disorganized, spread out energy, and it didn't make much sense. Whereas the 18Z clearly bundles the energy of Joaquin a lot better, and that is a very healthy looking hurricane in the 850 millibar field, or about 5,000 feet up in the atmosphere. And then look what's happening over North Carolina. The upper low cuts off, mid to upper level low, pinwheeling this system in, and finally when we go out to late Saturday night towards Sunday, this, my friends, is a vastly different look to what we saw earlier, where the GFS had Joaquin over here at the 120-hour mark or so, and as we approach 5 days in the 18Z run, it's closing in on the Delmarva Peninsula, Chesapeake Bay region. A major change in the shift of the GFS from kind of going like this and then turning out this way to coming over here, slowing down some, and then trying to come on into the mid-Atlantic states. In fact, if we just keep, I think I can go back and show you this. If you keep going out into time, you see what happens as we get on into Sunday morning. It pinwheels in, and there it is sitting over eastern Virginia, possibly a strong hurricane coming into the Tidewater region, the Chesapeake Bay area. This has to be watched very closely. That goes without saying. A lot of infrastructure, if you will, from the hurricane research community being thrown at this system, with high altitude G4 dropsonde information being incorporated into the 0Z models. Plenty of balloon launches going on tomorrow over a good deal of the eastern U.S., and for good reason. This stands to be potentially the one storm of the year where everybody says, well, they say it only takes one. It looks like Joaquin could be that one. So that's what I've got for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow with more updates. Again, I am Mark Sept for HurricaneTrack.com. Thanks as always for tuning in, and I'll be back with you with more tomorrow.